Hi, I'm Fagan Darwish with TV Insider, and I'm here with the cast of Wednesday at New York Comic Con. Jenna, I want to start with you. You're taking on this iconic role as Wednesday Addams. What was important about balancing the expectations fans have of her and also creating a character that is your own?
Thank you very much, woman. My woman. I love you. Sorry, that might be disrespectful, but that is my nickname for her, because she's my wife. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry, I look at you, my heart. Anyway, the trick with a character like this, I have never played someone who's been done before in previous iterations, and that's definitely scary because I know a lot of people, especially when the nostalgic factor comes into play, it adds a lot of pressure to something that should be fun and lighthearted. But I think what was really important to me here, the thing about Wendy is, yes, while she's deadpan, she's expressionless, I feel there's several routes you could have taken to give a performance that is still somewhat accurate to hers, and we kind of tried everything that we could, and played a little bit for sure, but then at some point you just kind of have to hop on a train and run with it. And, the last thing I want to do is knock off somebody else's work or feel like I'm mooching off of somebody else's brilliance, and I really did try to do something a bit different with her and still remain truthful to her, and I hope that it translates.
Definitely. And Luis, the same question. I mean, you're taking on Gomez Adams, and he's just as iconic as Wednesday. So, what was it like getting to bring your own version of him to life?
Oh man, for me it's like coming full circle. I mean, I watched the TV show, I watched all the cartoons, I finally watched the movie, and to step into this, I was not myself trying to duplicate what was done. I was just taking this character. Because people, what can you tell me about Gomez? Two words: love and passion. The love that he had for his wife, his family, the passion that he has for life. And his wife, and just stepping into it that way. And again, just honoring who Gomez is.
Definitely. And in terms of characters that we don't know, Gwendolyn, you play Larissa Weems. What can you tell us about her and her connection to the Addams family?
So I play Larissa Weems, who is the headmistress of a school for outcasts. Many of my friends feel I've been typecast in this role. Absolutely love Larissa Weems. She's someone who attended the Nevermore Academy. Morticia Addams was her best friend and roommate, and she was always coming second to Morticia. So it was a really interesting relationship for me to explore, with the idea of being always in the shadow of someone who was a greater achiever, but then having the opportunity to take on her daughter and develop a whole other kind of relationship. And it's many different weird aspects. Is it maternal? Is it parently? Is it like a sort of sibling relationship? Is it other? And I think throughout the series that does change and alter. But Larissa Weems is no less a freak than anyone else in the Addams family.
Definitely. She's got some interesting things ahead for her, I think. And Alan Miles, you're taking on this iconic franchise and making it your own, but you're also working with somebody who's almost equally iconic to pop culture, Tim Burton. What was it like collaborating with him as a director and creating this world of Nevermore Academy?
Collaborating with Tim was amazing. We've obviously. Oh, I should hold this. We've been obviously huge fans of Tim's for 30 plus years. So, we always wanted to send him the script. His agent said he didn't do television. We sent him the script because if you don't ask, the answer is no. And then 4 days later, it's like the universe answered, and Tim loved it, and we were suddenly on this journey together with him, and it's been amazing.
And what about you?
Yeah, no, and Tim has been an amazing collaborator. He was very respectful of the scripts and our input, and really was interested in learning television in terms of how do you make something 8 hours rather than a movie. So I think that journey for us has been incredible, and he's been a really incredible partner.
Great. And taking on this role as well, Wednesday, you have Wednesday on set with you, Christina Ricci. I know you said you didn't want to riff off of anyone's performances, but what was it like having her as a resource, having had played the character before?
Strangely enough, she was only a resource and only work that she had done when she was 11 years old. We never discussed. We honestly didn't even say the name Wednesday really around one another. It was kind of, I think it was funny because everyone expected us to, and I felt like whenever we were communicating one-on-one, people kind of leaned in to see what we were talking about, but it was just, hey, where are you from? You know, what's your business? It was more just getting to know a friend and another coworker, because I don't think that communicating on two different versions on the same character, I think it could have been confusing, but I don't know that it would have benefited her in any way, and I don't know that it would have benefited myself in any way, and I think that we just wanted to be respectful of one another, and I would have loved to like kind of discuss, but I wouldn't have asked for advice, if that makes sense, because again, you're trying to do something different, and it's a very different reality. You know, there's a school of outcasts. We're learning the history of Nevermore. They're two different Wednesdays.
Definitely different, very different from each other. And, you know, your character, she also is really awkward. What can you say about her interactions with the other students when she arrives at the school? How is she melding into the fabric of the student body?
Well, she doesn't like people. And
Wait, you gotta watch the show, man. You know?
Something that I do want to say, I think it's really important to remember that anytime that we've seen Wednesday, she's only been a 10-year-old girl, and when a 10-year-old girl says something really dark and self-deprecating and horrific, it's sweet and charming because it's coming from a place of innocence and naive nature. Whereas, you know, as soon as you become a teenage girl and you say the same nasty, sassy remarks, it doesn't slide because you're older and you should know better. So I think a big conversation that we were having on set is how can we still give her that bite or still give her that combative nature without it being bitter or aggressive or unlikable, because it's very easy to see that in a teenage girl and it's very easy for them to become obnoxious. And the last thing you want is for this quick-witted, again, dark, gothic character who has such a knowledge of the world around her and is so well balanced to come off as pretentious or like a snob. So that was, I think, a consistent challenge that we dealt with on set.
And Luis, your character, he also has a history at Nevermore. I don't know if there's anything you can say or tease about his experience there in relation to Larissa and Morticia, because you mentioned, Gwendolyn, that you know, they have a history, but what can you say about him? Is that a mystery to unfold?
I passed all my classes. They didn't find my gym teacher after the second semester. And it's where Morticia and I met each other and we fell in love. And that's where our seed started growing as a family, so to speak.
Definitely.
That's all I'm going to say.
Sounds good.
But I will say one thing about Wednesday, and I got to give these two guys all the credit because, you know, the writing, the rhythm of the writing, you know, it's to a certain degree it's comedy, but it's not us being these comical characters. It's all in the writing, and the writing, like I said, was so essential, you know, to the whole making of Wednesdays, and just the whole rhythm that it had, you know, the storytelling, and it was so well put down on paper, you know, into words, and we were the conduits of that, thanks to these guys. By the way, I like chocolate and lilacs.
Well, I think that's a great note to end it on, but thank you all for being here. And again, everyone, please tune in to Wednesday on Netflix beginning